WTOK TV, this is News Center 11.
A local youth judge is talking about just how effective Meridian's curfew is in reducing crimes committed by young people.
Is there a crime problem in Meridian? Yes, there is, because crime does occur here. And I'm not going to deny that, and I wouldn't think of doing that.
And Meridian's police chief speaks out about what can be done to keep you safe from crime.
News Center 11 at 6 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Candace Barnett. Lindsay is off tonight. Shots fired, assault, armed robbery, and murder. The Meridian Police Department is investigating several high-profile crimes, violent felonies that have some in the Queen City worried their neighborhoods are no longer safe. Many homeowners here are angry, afraid, and fed up with what appears to be an out-of-control crime problem. Tonight in a WTOK News Center 11 special assignment, Perry Robinson sits down with the police chief and asks some tough questions. Is Meridian a safe city, and what are his officers doing to protect property and lives? It's our top story tonight.
October has been a bloody and violent month in the Queen City. Half of the city's 8 murders have happened this month, and just this week, detectives have had their hands full investigating a botched armed robbery that ended in murder, a domestic violence-related shooting, and an armed robbery. And these crimes are only the major felonies under investigation. Police are working on dozens of drug-related and property crimes cases.
The department does not take the criminal activity that's occurring in our city lightly. We are out there aggressively patrolling the neighborhoods and the streets that we have identified as being hot spots, areas where violent crimes or shootings or things of that nature have occurred. And we are trying to maintain a presence in those areas.
We asked Meridian Police Chief Benny Dubose if he thinks Meridian is a safe city.
There are a lot more dangerous cities than Meridian, but the city that matters the most to the people in this area is their hometown, Meridian.
Chief Dubose doesn't deny crime is an issue, but says at times inaccurate information about certain criminal investigations is posted and shared on social media, which can lead to problems.
Is there a crime problem in Meridian? Yes, there is, because crime does occur here. And I'm not going to deny that, and I wouldn't think of doing that.
The question now is what happens next? What can we as a city do to help fight crime and make our communities safer? The chief says it'll take all of us to make that happen.
We're not here to make excuses. We're here to get results, and we'll hopefully in our aggressive patrol and identifying the hot spots, we can do a better job of enforcement. But we still need the help of the citizens. The citizens still need to claim ownership for what's going on in their neighborhoods and make sure they report these things to us so that we can do something about it.
Chief Dubose assures the public there's not a random killer or robber on the loose targeting innocent civilians and strangers. In 7 of the 8 murders this year, the chief says the suspect and the victim knew each other. Reporting in Meridian, Perry Robinson, News Center 11.
Again, police need the community's help in making Meridian a safer place to live, work, and visit. A stronger relationship between police and the public always makes a stronger community. If you see something suspicious or if you have information about a crime, call MPD. And a Meridian murder suspect had his bond reduced today as he made his initial appearance in court. Travis Connor appeared in court before a judge this morning. He's accused in the murder of Danica Clark October 7th. Connor is charged with murder, and attempted armed robbery. Connor is also a suspect in an armed robbery at the 24th Avenue Family Dollar store last month. A judge reduced his bond to $700,000 today. Police have released the identity of the man who is accused of shooting someone he knew last night. Joel Bowler has been charged in the shooting that happened yesterday in Meridian. He's facing an aggravated assault charge along with being a felon in possession of a firearm. The shooting happened at 34th Avenue and 16th Street. Bowler's bond was reduced to a total of $75,000 at his preliminary hearing today. An appeals court has upheld a Lauderdale County man's conviction in a crash that killed a Meridian teenager. The Mississippi Court of Appeals has upheld Mitchell Roberts' aggravated DUI conviction in 2016 in Lauderdale County. 14-year-old Arnold Altman Jr. was killed in July 2013 while riding to the store with his father. Roberts is serving an 18-year prison sentence. The appeals court rejected Roberts' argument that there was too little evidence to support his conviction. A quiet pond in Newton County is the site of a lot of history that stretches back over 100 years. That's coming up in our County Road 11 series in 10 minutes.
Now, Storm Team 11 weather with Chief Meteorologist Brian Hutton Jr.
Another beautiful fall day for us, a little warmer than the last couple of days have been, and we'll see highs remain in the 80s now all the way through Saturday. Our next cold front of eyes on Sunday brings some much needed rain, but also thunderstorms, especially Sunday afternoon and evening. Rain will continue until Monday before we see a big cool down for next week with highs only in the 60s. Temperatures mostly middle 70s at this hour will drop to about 60 tonight, a little warmer than what we have in the last 2 nights, thanks in part to some of those high clouds currently out there. Complete details are in your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Candace?
All right, thanks, Brian. As aldermen in Philadelphia consider adopting a curfew for youth, we're examining the one that's in place in Meridian. Adopted as a way to curb youth crime, the question now is it working? Tonight, Andrea Williams gets the perspective of one official who works closely with this issue.
I would say that things work if you work them.
Lauderdale County Youth Court Judge Veldor Young Graham has mixed feelings about the effectiveness of Meridian's curfew for youth.
Statistics show that some of the downsides of the city curfew is that the hours of crimes just shifted, that children now commit more crimes from after school until the curfew begins than they did initially.
Citing the importance of enforcing the curfew that is in place, the judge says there's a bigger issue, and it involves accountability from everyone.
I do think that we have to make sure that we hold people accountable. We have to hold parents accountable, and we've got to start doing community policing. And when we see young people violating rules or curfews or simply just moral or ethical things, it's incumbent upon us to stop them.
Based on the cases that are presented in the local youth court, Judge Young Graham says there's a common thread with many of the crimes.
We are filled with gang activity now, and we've got to do something about that. I can't say that most of the cases are involving gang activity, but I will tell you that most of the people committing the crimes are affiliated with gangs.
To deter such activity, Judge Young Graham says keeping kids active with constructive things is key.
They need to be kept busy. They need to be supervised. Children need to be supervised at all times. Bottom line.
In Meridian, Andrea Williams, News Center 11.
Here are the specifics about the youth curfew in Meridian. It's for people under the age of 18. On Sunday through Thursday, it's from 10 p.m. until 6 a.m. and at midnight on Fridays and Saturdays. Parents can be fined for violations. The Meridian Police Department is teaming up with Total Pain Care to help keep prescription drugs off the streets. You'll have the chance to bring any expired or unused prescription drugs tomorrow at the Total Pain Care office. You can bring any medications except for injectables or needles. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, overdose deaths involving prescription opioids have quadrupled since 1999, and police aim to take that number back down.
It is safe and convenient and anonymous with no inventory, and it is most importantly free. We want to do our part as law enforcement officers to keep our community safe.
The first 100 people who drop off their unwanted medications will receive a free goodie bag. The event is going on at Total Pain Care on 14th Street from 10 until 2. The Mississippi Supreme Court has now ruled on a lawsuit that seeks to get more education funding for the state. But next, the report card is out for local school districts as the state releases its annual ratings. We'll take a look at how our local schools fared. Stay with us. Headlines in Mississippi. The grades are out for school districts here in East Mississippi and across the entire state. About 1 in 5 school districts showed improvement under the state's rating system in 2016-2017. Some benefited from better graduation rates and test scores, and others apparently benefited from changes in the scoring system. Meridian Public Schools received a D rating, which is what they received the last year. The district's total points score did improve from last year. Let's take a look at how some of our local districts fared. Enterprise and Newton County Schools both received A's. Enterprise was the 4th best district in the entire state. Lauderdale County Schools and Union Schools both earned B's. Philadelphia and Neshoba County Schools got C's, while Quitman Schools and Kemper County Schools received D's. You can see a complete list in this story at WTOK.com. The Mississippi Supreme Court has ruled the legislature does not have an obligation to fully fund a school budget formula that was put into law 2 decades ago. The court ruled today against 21 school districts that sued the state in 2015. They sought money to make up for years of shortfalls when lawmakers didn't fully fund the Mississippi Adequate Education Program. The attorney representing the districts is former Governor Ronnie Musgrove, who pushed the funding formula into law in 1997. Dozens of films are set to hit the screen tomorrow at a Meridian Film Festival that continues to grow each year. That's coming up on News Center 11 at 6. But next, we'll dive into a local pond and explore its rich history that goes back to the 19th century. It's the latest stop on County Road 11.
Temperatures remain just above average as we await rain showers this weekend. Your forecast is on the other side of the break.
You're watching News Center 11 at 6 with Candace Barnett.
There's a place in Newton County where the water literally runs across the road and it never stops. Stamper's Pond is located off Mississippi Highway 489 and it's well known to locals. In this week's County Road 11, Lindsay Hall says this scenic spot near Union also has a lot of history.
Natives of the area call it Stamper's Pond, or more simply, as the place where the water runs across the road. Martin W. Stamper moved to the site around 1860 and operated a grist mill. It was the first of its type in East Mississippi. A post office was later added and operated until just after the turn of the century. Originally, the Stamper area was inhabited by Choctaw Indians. They referred to the land as Oka Kapasa, which means cold water. The pond is spring-fed from a number of sources and eventually creates a mini waterfall that crosses the road in this rural part of Newton County between Union and Conahatta. There's also a large lake on the premises that once was a favorite place for locals to fish and swim. In fact, in the early 1900s, Stamper's Pond hosted everything from political rallies to church revivals and just about everything in between. Stamper's Pond also has some unique history. Some say it was once considered a site to build a state university for Mississippi, but that failed by one vote in the legislature. There's also several tombstones on the grounds with some family members buried in the plots, along with a few unknown soldiers from the Civil War. Stamper's Pond in Newton County. It's not real easy to find, but it's worth the effort. You can step back in time and enjoy a place and its beauty that hasn't changed very much at all in the last couple of centuries. Reporting from Newton County, I'm Lindsay Hall on County Road 11.
The location was built and established by Martin W. Stamper in 1858. It's located on Highway 489 near Union. A special feature article was done on Stamper Pond by the Today in Mississippi website. All right, now Brian's here with a look at our forecast.
Beautiful day. Lots of sunshine. We are seeing some high clouds filter back in. It's a sign of moisture returning in advance of our next system that will be here this weekend. Seeing those high clouds still in Livingston on our Alpha Insurance Skycam as we're just about at sunset this evening. It has been a warm one for us today as we climb back to the lower 80s. 81 officially a key field. Started off at 46. No rain for us today. That will change as we head into the weekend, and we need some rain. Newest drought monitor has extended a lot of the dry areas locally, but rain is in the forecast. Temperature-wise, seeing a lot of 70s on the board. In fact, mostly middle 70s. Macon is at 72, Livingston 71, 67 in Demopolis. Everybody else between 73 and 75 degrees. Compared to this time yesterday, we are all running a few degrees warmer. That's thanks to a little more moisture, and also in part once we get past sunset here to those high clouds, trapping a little bit of that heat here at the surface. Dew point-wise, they're a little higher as well. Seeing a couple 60s out there on the board. These will spike a bit as we get now to sunset, and then these will drop off through the overnight hours. But it is going to be a little warmer tonight than what we have seen for the last several mornings. Outside, Southern Pine Electric Radar has a clear scan from all four area radars. Just a couple of high clouds, no rain showers for us to worry about. Just those high clouds out there, and they're continuing to stream in from the west and southwest. High pressure, though, firmly in control, sitting just to the west of the Appalachians towards the Piedmont portions of Tennessee. But again, you can see those high clouds heading in our direction, and we'll see them thicken up tomorrow. There's some warmer air back off to our west. Temperature sitting mostly in the upper 70s, low 80s still at this hour. And we'll continue to nudge that in our direction. We'll add a couple of degrees tomorrow compared to what we made it to today. Dew points also a little higher as well. And again, we're starting to see a shift now. Winds a little more southerly. That's going to bring back moisture in advance for our next system that we'll be getting here on Sunday. So for us tonight, we'll see those mostly clear skies dropping only to the lower 50s tonight. So again, warmer than where we have been and just slightly below average. As we head through the afternoon hours tomorrow, back to the low 80s. Lots of sunshine. Those high clouds will hang around with us, but that will be about it. We'll turn mostly cloudy, though, as we head into our Saturday. Any outdoor plans on Saturday, though, as we start the day, will be A-OK. Pumpkin run Saturday morning. A lot of other things happening in the morning hours, even into the first part of the afternoon. But as the day wears on, we could see a stray shower develop, and I don't think a lot of us see rain on Saturday, but a rain chance will be there, so something to keep in mind late Saturday. And then Sunday is looking like a washout. 51 degrees for us tonight, mostly clear, not as cold as we have been. Winds light from the east as we head through your Friday. Fantastic 82, mild with just those high clouds out there. Winds from the east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And again, most of Saturday is dry, just a straight shower, 81. Sunday is a washout with rain showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon and evening at 78. Rain continues for Monday at 74. We dry out Tuesday at 75. And then there's a cool down, 67 for us Wednesday, 65 on Thursday. Lows drop to the lower 40s. We may get even colder than that. So we go from summer to fall for about a week now to a nice winter preview as we head through the latter portions of next week.
All happening in just like a week there.
So that 65 is about a November, December average high. Our coldest average high for the year is 56. So we're pushing our winter as we head to the end of next week.
All right, gonna crank up the heaters. Thanks, Brian.
All right.
Well, tomorrow starts the beginning of a film festival in Meridian that continues to grow each year. The 4th annual Rails to Reels Film Festival at the Temple Theater gets underway tomorrow morning. 32 films will be screened throughout this weekend. 2 films are particularly different from the others. They'll be filmed in Meridian by a local crew. The director of the Flash film explains how the crew has to work through tight time constraints.
Miles Doliak and Michael Williams, they're going to come here and do 10-minute films. But as soon as they get here, they need to fill in other people. And they go for 48 hours and they got to turn it in.
The festival runs from Friday morning until Saturday night. You can visit the Rails to Reels Facebook for more details. All right, now Chris is here for a look at sports.
And a special night in sports, according to WTOK insider Mike Turner. He said tonight is a sports equinox where we have all 4 major sports on at the same time. It's only happened 17 other times. In local sports, however, several Meridian track athletes were honored for their state championships this morning. We'll look at the slate of college football games for this weekend. And it's homecoming in Decatur, a preview of East Central versus Northwest next.
Sports with Chris Turner coming up.
It was the reunion every gladiator's been waiting for.
Hi.
And damn, was it good. Now pull your jaw off the floor and hit rewind, because tonight,
Mr. President,
we're flashing back to answer one question.
This is our next chapter. At some point you have to let go. Close the door.
Scandal, new episode tonight on ABC.
Leaves are falling, and so are the prices at National Sales and Lease. Dining room groups starting at $11.99 a week. 7-piece living room groups starting at $23.99 a week. 6-piece bedroom groups starting at $21.99 a week. 65-inch 4K smart TV, $24.99 a week. At National Sales and Lease, where $1 down delivers with no credit check. Fall into comfort and style at National Sales and Lease.
Now, News Center 11 Sports with Chris Turner.
Less than a month from the college basketball season means preseason projections and hot takes are rolling out quicker than we can keep up. Today, USA Today released the preseason coaches poll, and the Duke Blue Devils are the coaches' pick as the best team in the country to start the year. It's the 7th time overall since USA Today began administering the coaches poll that Duke is the preseason number 1. 3 SEC teams made the cut, and the Alabama Crimson Tide just made the list, checking in at number 25. The last time the Tide entered the season ranked in the top 25, that came prior to the 2006 season when they were 11th. Kentucky checking in at 4, Florida at number 7. East Central football looking to snap a 5-game losing streak tonight in Decatur. Homecoming for the Warriors as they welcome the 6th-ranked Northwest Rangers. It's a special night for several former Warriors. Chicago White Sox second baseman Tim Anderson and former high school football coach Jeff Breland will be inducted into the university's Hall of Fame. Anderson played for the Warriors in 2012 and 13. He's drafted 17th overall by the White Sox. Breland was a head coach at Lake, Newton, and Newton County in a career that spanned over 30 years. You're not going to find any East Mississippi highlights tonight. The last 2 games of the Lions season will be on Saturdays. It's homecoming this Saturday in Scuba, EMCC hosting Coahoma. That kickoff is at 2 p.m. The Lions now number 7 after dropping their first game of the season to Northwest. Here's the SEC schedule. Watch anything but Idaho, Missouri, and Auburn, Arkansas for me, please. Anything does include Kentucky, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss LSU. Could be season-defining moments for all 4 teams. And there's a really fun game down in Louisiana in the SWAC. Alcorn meets 5-1 Grambling, both undefeated in conference play. Jackson State still looking for win number 1, facing Southern Valley hosting Lynchburg. And if you're not paying attention to West Alabama, you should be, because they're really fun. 6-1 Tigers, top 25 in the country, traveling to Florida Tech. Members of the Meridian track and field team received state championship rings this morning. The students won the 6A state championship for the girls 4x8 and the boys 800 meter in May. The 4x8 team features Sonia McPhail, Technetra Batiste, Princess Grant, and Kai Horn. Corredius Naylor won the state crown for the 6A 800 meter. Now to the fish and game forecast, brought to you by the Vein Clinic at Meridian Plastic Surgery. Your peak times for wildlife activity are 2:40 a.m. and 3:20 p.m. Russell Christian quarterback Drew Taylor was named a state finalist for the Wendy's High School Heisman Award. Taylor is one of 20 finalists from the state of Mississippi. The state finalists will compete for the title of state winner, where one male and one female student from each state will receive a Wendy's High School Heisman Scholarship. Ole Miss with a huge win over Vanderbilt to snap a 3-game losing streak, hoping to start a winning streak with LSU and the Coach O coming to Oxford. The Rebels have taken a step back in the right direction after blowout losses at Alabama and Auburn. Now back at home with the win, Coach Luke says it's important the players continue to push forward.
The goal is for the team that plays Saturday night to be able to beat the team that played against Vanderbilt, and just to try to take one more step and have all these young guys get one game better. I think that's a huge part of it.
Of course, interim coach Matt Luke there. Rebels and Tigers kicking off from Vaught Hemingway, 6:15 on ESPN. MLB playoff action at the top of the hour. Dodgers looking to punch a ticket to the World Series with a 3-1 lead. No one has ever blown a 3-1 lead in recent memory, to my knowledge. First pitch at 7:08. Candace, tonight at 10, I know you'll be around. We got high school and junior college action ready for everyone.
I'll be here. Thanks, Chris. Fall Festival is providing a unique learning opportunity for special needs students here in our area. That story next.
Thanks for not bringing up the disaster of 04 Yankees Red Sox. Final check of your forecast is after the break.
Local pastors are meeting tonight about what can be done to bring more peace to the area and reduce crime. That's tonight at 10. Special day for special needs students allowed kids with disabilities to interact with a large group of people just like them. The Fall Fun Festival in Neshoba County brings kids of all ages with different disabilities together. And while they're all on different levels, the festival is something they can all enjoy. The festival is about fun games and prizes, but it's also an important learning experience.
We're using fine motor skill, gross motor skills, social skills, all of these other things that we teach every day in our class, so they're getting to put them into practice.
Philadelphia, Neshoba, Choctaw, Sebastopol, and Union School Districts participated in this year's Fall Fun Festival. All right, now Brian's here with a look at our fall temperatures.
Yes, very fall-like for us for the next several days. In fact, 82 for us tomorrow, mostly sunny skies. 81 on Saturday. We'll see a stray shower possible, otherwise mostly cloudy skies. Soggy for us on Sunday if you have any outdoor plans. Plan B or C may be in order. Rain throughout the day, especially in the afternoon and evening with showers and thunderstorms. 78 on Sunday. Rain will linger through most of our Monday at 74. We then dry out on Tuesday at 75, but a nice taste of winter. 67 Wednesday, 65 for us on Thursday, and lows will be near the upper 30s.
I got to ask real quick. It's not up there. How are we doing for Week 11 of Football Friday?
Should be dry.
Still undefeated, ladies and gentlemen. Still undefeated.
We'll be back tonight at 10.